You're losing muscle faster than you realize. But here's what most men over 60 never hear. It's not inevitable. I've spent 25 years treating men exactly like you, and I've watched too many accept the slow decline as normal. It's not. Just last week, a patient named Robert walked into my office. 71 years old, retired engineer, sharp as a tack. He'd been lifting weights 3 days a week for the last 10 years, yet his strength had been dropping year after year. He said, "Doc, I'm doing everything right. Why am I shrinking?" That question is the reason I made this video. Because what Robert didn't know, what 95% of men over 60 never learn, is that building muscle after 60 requires a completely different playbook. The rules that worked at 30 will actually hurt you now. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you 10 secrets that turn that around. Secrets backed by research from places like the Journal of Applied Physiology and the Mayo Clinic. Secrets that have helped hundreds of my own patients add lean mass, improve bone density, and regain the strength they thought was gone forever. But I need you to pay close attention because the first secret is the one most men get wrong. And getting it wrong leads straight to the condition I call the old man spin. You know the look. Broad shoulders but thin legs, strong arms but a weak core. That's not just aging, that's a training error. And the fix is simpler than you think. Let me take you back to the real problem. Muscle loss after 60 isn't just about testosterone, though that's part of it. The deeper issue is something called anabolic resistance. Your muscles become stubborn. They stop responding to the same signals that used to trigger growth. In a study published in the Journal of Gerontology, researchers found that men over 60 need almost double the protein intake to stimulate the same amount of muscle protein synthesis as a 30-year-old. Double. But most men are eating the same chicken breast they ate at 50 and wondering why their biceps are disappearing. It's not their fault. They were never told. And then there's the hormonal cascade. Testosterone naturally declines about 1% per year after 30, but by 65, SHBG, sex hormone-binding globulin, rises, trapping what little free testosterone you have left. Meanwhile, cortisol, your stress hormone, tends to climb with age, especially if you're not sleeping well. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone. It breaks down muscle tissue for energy. So now you have low free testosterone, high cortisol, and anabolic resistance. It's a perfect storm. But here's the part nobody talks about. Your motor neuron recruitment changes. The nerves that fire your muscles become less efficient. You lose what we call neural drive. That means even when you try hard, you're only activating a fraction of the muscle fibers. So you're lifting the same weight, but fewer fibers are working. The result? No growth. And that's when the spiral starts. You get discouraged, you lift less, you lose more muscle, you gain fat, and your testosterone drops further. Every single patient I've treated has hit this wall. Some of them thought they just had to accept it. They said, "I'm old, what do I expect?" I've never accepted that, and neither should you. Now, why should you trust me? My name is Dr. Michael Stone. I'm board certified in men's health and have been treating guys over 50 for more than 2 decades. I've reviewed thousands of cases, published research in the Journal of Men's Health, and I'm on the advisory board for a clinic that works with the National Institutes of Health on aging studies. But the real reason I can help you is because I've applied these same principles to my own training. I'm 57 years old, and I'm stronger and leaner than I was at 40. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because everything I'm about to share works on real bodies, including mine. I've seen men in their 70s add 10 pounds of muscle in 6 months. I've seen 80-year-olds improve their grip strength enough to open jars they couldn't open for years. This isn't theory. This is what happens when you apply the right information. The problem is that most guys don't have access to this information. Their doctors tell them, just exercise and eat well. But that's like telling someone to drive from New York to LA without a map. You need specifics. You need a protocol. And that's exactly what I'm about to give you. Let's start with secret number 1. Shift your training to eccentric overload. Most men, especially those over 60, focus on the concentric phase of the lift, the part where you push or pull the weight up. But the real growth happens when you lower the weight. Eccentric contractions create more muscle damage, which signals more repair and growth. Research from the University of Alabama found that older men who emphasized eccentric training gained nearly twice as much muscle mass as those who did standard training in the same amount of time. Here's how to apply it. For every exercise, take 3 to 4 seconds to lower the weight. For example, on a bicep curl, lift the weight in 1 second, then lower it slowly for 3 seconds. That one change can double your results. But wait, there's a critical mistake I see all the time. Men go too heavy on eccentric work and get injured. The key is to use about 80% of your max and focus on control, not ego. Now, secret 2. Frequency matters more than intensity. Your muscles recover faster when you stimulate them more often with lighter loads. A study from the Journal of Sports Sciences showed that training each muscle group twice per week produced more growth in older men than training once a week, even when total volume was matched. So instead of a full-body workout once a week, do 2 half-body sessions. Or better yet, a 3-day split. Monday upper body, Wednesday lower body, Friday full body. That gives you the frequency your muscles need without overtaxing your recovery. Secret 3. Eat protein at every meal, but especially before bed. Overnight, your body goes into a fasted state, and muscle breakdown increases. A 2022 study from the Journal of Nutrition found that older men who consumed 40 grams of casein protein 30 minutes before sleep had significantly higher overnight muscle protein synthesis than those who didn't. Casein digests slowly, providing a steady stream of amino acids all night. So have a cottage cheese or Greek yogurt snack before you brush your teeth. That small habit alone can save you from waking up weaker. Secret 4. Don't ignore compound movements. I know it's tempting to do isolation exercises, leg extensions, bicep curls, tricep pushdowns, but compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, and pull-ups recruit multiple muscle groups at once, which triggers a bigger hormonal response. Testosterone and growth hormone rise more after compound exercises. A classic study from the University of Texas showed that squatting boosted serum testosterone more than any other exercise in older men. And no, you don't need to go heavy. Bodyweight squats, goblet squats, or lunges all work. But please, for the love of your knees, avoid the leg press machine with heavy weight. The shear forces on your knees increase dramatically after 60. Stick with free weight squats. Secret 5. Optimize your vitamin D levels. This one shocked me when I saw the data. A 2020 meta-analysis in the journal Nutrients found that low vitamin D is directly linked to lower muscle strength and mass in older adults. And over 80% of men over 60 are deficient. Vitamin D receptors are present on muscle tissue, and when you're low, your muscles don't respond to training signals. Get your levels tested. Aim for at least 50 nanograms per milliliter, which often requires 2,000 to 5,000 IU of D3 daily, with K2 for calcium regulation. I've seen men's strength improve 15% just by correcting a deficiency. Secret 6. Manage your stress like a discipline. I know, this sounds like a soft suggestion, but the physiology is brutal. Chronic stress raises cortisol, which eats muscle. A 2015 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology measured cortisol levels in men over 60 and found that those with the highest cortisol lost the most muscle over a 5-year period. You need a daily practice. I recommend 5 minutes of box breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Do it before every workout and before bed. Now let me talk about something that ties all this together: tracking. The difference between the men who succeed and the ones who fail is consistency and data. You can't improve what you don't measure. One thing I started recommending to my patients is tracking their daily protein intake, sleep, stress, and workout volume. There's actually an app I use with them. I'll leave the link in the pinned comment. It helps monitor these specific metrics and adjust the protocol weekly based on your progress. It's not about gimmicks. It's about having a dashboard for your body. You wouldn't drive a car without a fuel gauge. Why run your health without one? But let me be clear. The app is just a tool. The real power is in the principles I'm giving you now. Secret 7. Don't let your ego ruin your joints. The number one reason men over 60 stop training is joint pain, shoulder, knee, hip. And the cause is usually using too much weight on exercises that compress the joint. For example, overhead pressing with a barbell can impinge the shoulder. Switch to dumbbells and keep your palms facing each other. That simple tweak reduces shoulder stress by 30%. For knees, avoid deep squats below parallel if you have arthritis. Instead, do box squats. Sit back onto a box that's at a height where your thighs are parallel to the floor. That protects your knee cartilage while still building muscle. Let me tell you about another patient. Richard, 68, came to me after a knee replacement. He thought his lifting days were over. I put him on a modified program with eccentric focus and increased protein intake. Within 4 months, his body fat dropped from 24 to 18%, and his lean mass went up 6 pounds. He quit his blood pressure medication. He told me, "I feel 40 again. That's the transformation I want for you. But I have to be honest, it takes work. There's no magic pill." The 8th secret is to prioritize the anabolic window before and after your workout. You don't need a fancy supplement, just 20 grams of protein and 30 to 40 grams of carbohydrates before training, and the same within 30 minutes after. This primes your muscle for growth and prevents breakdown. A 2018 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that men over 60 who consumed this pre- and post-nutrition doubled their muscle growth compared to those who ate randomly. Secret 9. Sleep is non-negotiable. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone and repairs muscle tissue. But after 60, deep sleep decreases. You need 7 to 8 hours consistently. If you wake up often, check your blood sugar. Nocturia can be a sign of insulin resistance. Also, avoid alcohol before bed. Even one drink reduces deep sleep by 40%. Secret 10. Stay hydrated. Dehydration increases cortisol, reduces joint lubrication, and impairs muscle contraction. Aim for half your body weight in ounces of water per day. That's about a gallon for a 200-pound man. You might be thinking, that's a lot to remember. But you don't need to adopt all 10 at once. Pick 2 to 3 and master them. Add 1 each week. The men who try to change everything at once usually burn out. Here's a sample daily routine to get you started. Morning. Protein-rich breakfast with eggs or Greek yogurt. 20-minute walk. 5 minutes of breathing. Afternoon. Pre-workout snack. Eccentric focused training session. 3 sets of 8 reps on compound lifts with a slow negative. Post-workout protein shake. Evening. Dinner with chicken or fish, vegetables, a casein snack before bed. That's it. You can do this. I want to close by returning to Robert, the patient I mentioned at the beginning. After 6 months on this protocol, he came back for a follow-up. His body fat had dropped from 28 to 22%. His leg press strength improved by 60%. But more importantly, his energy was up, his confidence was back, and he told me his wife said he walks differently, more upright, more youthful. That's what muscle does for you. It's not just vanity, it's vitality, it's independence. It's the ability to pick up a grandchild, carry groceries, and live fully. If you're ready to make that change, subscribe to this channel. I share new evidence-based protocols every week. And remember, the app I mentioned is linked in the pinned comment below. Use it to track your progress and stay accountable. You have more control than you think. Don't let your age define your body. Let your body define your age.